I think Kool-Aid Chicken's going to be the first episode of Jecll cooking.
Just trying to make it work.
Yeah. You mean succeeding in making it work.
Just trying to make it work.
You mean succeeding in making it work.
Trying
We'll see.
and succeeding in making
it work.
We'll see.
Yeah, I think Kool-Aid Chicken will be the first episode of Jecll cooking.
I have a plan for the new kitchen because I have aprons in mind. So we can sit at the island and just record us watching and judging him as he cooks and runs around. And we're like, hey, don't forget to flip that. Feed us.
Clean up as you go.
Then we just
miss a spot.
Judge as he's making food for us.
Now for our feature presentation.
Yeah, we don't have a whole lot of content to put other places on like our great gaming content.
You know, it's going to come back around.
It will.
Tyson's going to get back into it. We're going to get into it once we get the computer built and we get a Steam and we start buying games.
If we recorded how much I fucking play Minecraft.
Yeah, I don't think she has any room to talk about you not recording anymore. She plays... I'll be like, hey babe, I'm going to run to the bathroom real quick. She'll stop the video we're watching and she'll start recording Minecraft. Or playing Minecraft. I'm in there for 10 minutes. What are you going to accomplish? No. She doesn't even know. She just has a problem. She loves Minecraft. And Kool-Aid Chicken is going to be the first episode of Jecll Cooking sometime next year. But yeah, that's why I had to clap. Hello and welcome back to another episode of How About This Movie? Part 2 of the Lethal Weapon series. So,
how about this Lethal Weapon?
Lethal Weapon 2.
No.
Electric Boogaloo. 1989 for the movie, by the way. Shout out goes to A is for Abel. The
whole series. Just
we've just decided,
Abel gets Lethal Weapon.
He is 2 for 2 so far on guessing. Within 5 minutes of us posting the image on our social medias at Jecll Studios. So follow if you want to win the shout out.
He's going to be able to get 3 and 4.
Yeah. So we're just going to give A is for Abel, our buddy Abel, the shout out for the whole series. So go ahead and give him a follow. I think he makes stuff here on YouTube. He posts all sorts of silliness on the
Instagram.
IG. So yeah, give him a follow. He's a good follow. Tyson, who was in this movie and who directed it?
I'm over here.
Shit! These glasses, I can't tell you guys apart now.
Again, directed by Richard Donner. He did all of the Lethal Weapons.
Of the Donner Party?
No.
Oh, okay. Different.
Different Donner.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think there might be a problem with your glasses.
They're definitely smudgy.
They're smudgy, but they're also incredibly, loose. Is it because my face isn't the right size? I don't know. Anyway, continue.
They're also really lightweight.
Mel Gibson, Danny Glover reprise their roles, as they do with all of
the Lethal Weapons
movies. Yeah.
We're not going to talk about the TV show. You can't make us.
Yeah. This one adds Joe Pesci to the mix.
Love Joe Pesci.
Who is really good in Goodfellas and Home Alone. Some really good movies. And then the villains of this one, 2 main villains. Joss Ackland, who is in The Hunt for Red October and Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey.
With Sean Connery. Not Bill and Ted.
No, yeah.
Hunt for Red October.
Hunt for Red October, yeah. And the other one was Derek O'Connor, who was in Deep Rising in Brazil.
The country, or there's a movie called Brazil?
There's a movie called Brazil.
Oh.
Directed by Terry Gilliam.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were just saying that he went to Brazil one time. Yeah, he was in Brazil.
He could have.
For what?
He could have gone to Brazil.
It's possible with his lucrative acting career, he could afford a trip to Brazil.
That's true.
Makes sense.
What a man, what a man, what a mighty fine man. Mighty good man.
And then Patsy Kensit.
What's she in?
Nothing that I fucking know. I couldn't recognize a single goddamn thing that she was in.
She was in this movie.
She was in Lethal Weapon 2.
That's all you need to know.
Yeah, that's it.
She's the one that Mel Brooks... Mel Gibson.
Mel
I do
Gibson.
that with Mel Brooks all the time, too.
Yeah.
This movie might have been better if it was a Mel Brooks movie. I'll just throw it out there.
I gotta say, it would have been way goofier.
Yeah.
Even though the goofiness level was kicked up a notch for this one over the first one.
Did you know the first one? You do know this. You've seen them all. The first one's the only one that does not have Murtaugh dislocate his shoulder.
Really?
You mean Riggs?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what I said. Riggs. Doesn't have Riggs dislocated shoulder.
They introduced the shoulder dislocation in this one.
And he uses it in every other movie. The ultimate weapon.
Mm-hmm.
The lethal weapon.
Oh, they said the thing.
Oh, they said the
They
thing.
said it!
Lethal Weapon 2 is a lot like Lethal Weapon. They kind of stumble into a crime that turns out to be bigger than they think it is. Threats are made against their family. And they have to take down the bad guys. There's an added wrinkle with them being diplomats and having diplomatic immunity. And there's also the added wrinkle that they're way more fucking ruthless.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the bad guy's body count in this movie is significantly higher.
They start a war on police.
Yeah. They legitimately start a war with police. Like, and I don't know anything about diplomatic immunity. I'm not a diplomat. I'm not immune to anything. Tyson's phone is buzzing.
Wow, somebody's popular.
But I do feel like if you just started killing police officers, you'd probably be in trouble. Especially, and I mean no offense, it's from South Africa. On the list of, like, U.S. allies, I know South Africa is further down.
They're probably pretty fucking low.
Like, if a Chinese diplomat came over, they might be able to get away with killing a cop or two. Because it's a Chinese diplomat.
And the U.S. government sucks the teat of China.
We may have to cut this.
Yeah.
But South Africa doesn't bring much to the table as far as relations with the U.S.
Bring a lot of racism.
At least in '89 they did. And apartheid, am I right?
They already did.
Oh. Good job. I also did like that. Sorry, backtrack. Not related to the story at all. Kind of related to the story. There was the Free Mandela and apartheid sticker at the Murtaugh's home on the refrigerator.
Mm-hmm.
And then in this one, the bad guys are the South Africans. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
You never see South Africa be the bad guys.
Mm.
It's like always Russia. Not this time.
Either Russia or China or Korea.
Yeah.
North
Korea.
particularly. South is fun.
Yeah. They make all those funny music videos.
They have a cheese theme park.
Yeah.
What else would you like to add about the plot, Carly, of Lethal Weapon 2, Electric Boogaloo?
I like that they have the continuation of Riggs' relationship with Murtaugh's family, and how, like, you see him in the kitchen cooking, and, like, he's, like, a well-integrated part, and his character development of getting a girlfriend, even though, you know...
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is definitely multiple years after Lethal Weapon 1.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Murtaugh's son is, like, a teenager now.
Yeah.
And they're building a garage and a hobby room. 2-car garage and a hobby room.
Rianne's and condom commercials.
Rianne's in condom commercials. Still not 21, though.
Yeah.
Still underage,
Can't buy her own beer, but she can promote
Condoms.
promiscuous sex.
Yep. She also still can't smoke weed in the house, in case anyone was curious.
That's true.
That wasn't specified in the movie. I'm just assuming. Because it's not legal.
Well, what do you think the hobby room's for?
That's Murtaugh's hobby, is to smoke the weed. Now you just need a hobby. Rude. Riggs!
Riggs!
Riggs! Before watching Lethal Weapon on Tuesday and Lethal Weapon 2 today, my only knowledge of Lethal Weapon was the Always Sunny in Philadelphia Lethal Weapon episodes. And when they are, whoever's playing Murtaugh, because it switches back and forth, they're always like, Riggs! Riggs! Like, that's like all I knew. And it's not very accurate.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Murtaugh go, Riggs! Yet.
Well, when you went to go pee after Riggs gets shot a fuck ton.
He did probably, I'm assuming he said Riggs.
Yeah, he said Riggs.
But did he go, Riggs?
I went, Riggs!
Yeah.
It's more normal.
It was more like concern than like, hey, I'm dying from anaphylactic shock. Was there peanuts in the brownies?
Less The Walking Dead Carl.
Yeah. Carl. Coral.
Coral.
Did you see that gif of them replacing Carl in that scene with a microwave? And Rick just walking around just...
That scene might have been one of the worst scenes in episodic television history.
Yeah,
It was so fucking stupid.
So memeable, though.
It is.
I don't.
The internet thanks you.
I never got into Walking Dead. I thought
really
it was
liked The
super
Walking Dead.
boring.
I liked when Tyson would come over and we would watch The Walking Dead with him sitting on the bed and me falling asleep.
We missed you, Tyson. Not this Tyson, because this Tyson's right here.
I'm here.
And he doesn't like The Walking Dead, so we didn't watch it with him.
The other best friend, Tyson.
I like zombie movies, though. Y'all know that.
Y'all know.
Y'all know who it is.
Y'all know me.
Same OG. It's Dr. Dre. Anything else we need to add about the plot? I got a couple plot holes.
There are definitely more plot holes in this one than there was in the first one.
Yeah.
Could you imagine how much easier it would be if they had cell phones back in this day? You wouldn't have to be on the toilet for 20 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can just be like,
I'm pretty sure
So-
Murtaugh has a blood clot now.
Yeah, there's a good chance.
Yeah.
I've sat on the toilet for 20 minutes because I'm like memeing too hard or whatever. And like there's legitimate concern for my life. I mean, whether or not I'll be able to walk again ever.
mm-hmm.
He's been on there for hours. But no one in his family kissed him this time while he
That's
was
true.
in the bathroom.
That's true.
That we saw.
That we saw, yeah.
Well, they were at
Work/school.
No,
they were
gone.
at is
Mm.
After the home
mom's,
invasion, he sent them away
Yeah, the mom's
to live
sister's
with the
house.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
they were not in the house. That's why he had the bathroom to himself.
Yeah, that is what he was saying. First time I've had the bathroom to myself in 20 years. That's not what he sounds like. I don't know why I did that voice. Riggs. God damn it, Riggs.
But yeah, I feel like cell phones and the easy access we have to cell phones nowadays would have made a lot of their struggle less struggly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Murtaugh had a cell phone.
But not on the toilet with him.
No.
You know what he would be doing nowadays? Being on the toilet.
He would
with
have a cell phone
in
on
his
the
hands.
toilet, yeah. Why didn't he just break out his liquid nitrogen and spray the bomb? And that's what the bomb squad did. Why didn't he just do that?
He probably didn't have it in
I
his
keep
bathroom.
liquid nitrogen under the sink in our bathroom. Just in case you try to blow me up with a bomb.
I have a sack of liquid nitrogen in my my abdominal cavity.
Yeah.
That I can exude from my mouth at a moment's
You
notice.
have to be prepared for
Yeah.
bombs. Particularly toilet bombs.
But yeah, that's all I have to add.
Gives me meaning to blowing it up.
Ah!
Right.
I, for the life of me, cannot remember my plot holes now. I had
Sorry.
them. I cannot remember them. I had two. One was bigger than the other. One was kind of small. But I cannot remember them.
Gotcha.
You got it.
Yep.
Why? So they say they killed Riggs' wife all those years ago because he was getting too close. They also say they have diplomatic immunity. You can't do shit. Why do they keep pushing the cops?
Yeah.
You have diplomatic immunity. Do whatever you want. Like, we can have the conversation about how realistic their diplomatic immunity was portrayed. Because like I said, pretty sure the U.S. would deport you if you're that low on the totem pole as far as other countries. But we'll ignore that. You have diplomatic immunity. Why are you concerned about how close the wife, or how close the cops are getting? They can't arrest you.
Yeah.
Don't do anything. Just keep doing what you're doing. Like,
Why clean up loose ends?
yeah.
Other than, like, well, even the money laundering. Like, what the fuck does it matter if he tells them, oh, I money laundered for these diplomats? Like, what the fuck does it matter that he's telling everybody?
Oh, I would kill him because he stole from you. And you have to kill the guy that steals from you because it sends a message. We don't tolerate thieves. You have to kill Leo Getz. I get that. I understand that. But Riggs getting too close, so we tried to kill you, but it really just killed your wife? Getting too close to what? You can't be arrested. Nothing can happen to you. That is your words. So what are you afraid of?
Yeah, what are you concerned for?
Yeah. That was my biggest problem with this movie. I liked the element of Riggs's wife, because he even kind of mentions it early, like, oh, if I'd just been there with her, she'd have been fine.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he takes blame for it right there. Boom. I fucked up. And then they assigned the enemies to his wife's death, making it more his fault. It just doesn't make sense with these guys.
Yeah.
Maybe you save that card for the next movie, where the bad guys don't have diplomatic immunity and nothing else matters.
That's true.
It's like, I'm not going to get into like the whole them not doing anything, because if they don't do anything, it doesn't ramp up the story, and then Riggs and Murtaugh never get their revenge. Because then, I mean, they just deal with the fact that there's diplomats breaking the law, which happens all the time. Because they're diplomats, and they have diplomatic immunity for a reason. But...
That's what the fuck it's there for.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, they still needed to go on the warpath with the cops or whatever. Like, something would have needed to happen. I just don't think that, like, Riggs getting too close matters.
Yeah.
So what? Too close to nothing, really.
Yeah, they established earlier, before even mentioning that they just hide behind their diplomatic immunity for pretty much everything.
Yeah. So I didn't love that, and that didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. But beyond that, I like this movie. I don't think that it's quite as well-rounded story-wise, and I don't think there's as much like character in it. But I think there's more action in this movie, and you do get to see a little bit of Riggs going crazy. You guys have any?
I'm not a cop tonight.
Not a cop tonight.
You don't understand. They killed them both.
Both who? They killed them both. Both who? They killed them both.
They killed Bofa.
Both of who?
Bofa these nuts! That's loud. Fucking captured.
Tyson.
Yeah.
What's the budget on this movie?
This budget was a little bit more, and by a little bit I say almost twice as much. It was at $28 million.
Jeez.
Yeah.
1989, $28 million.
Yeah.
$13 million more than the last movie.
Opening weekend, they made $20 million back. So it was pretty good. And total worldwide gross was $228 million.
It's almost twice the last movie, right?
Yeah. I imagine that, and we'll know soon, but I imagine that it goes Lethal Weapon 2, and then like some sort of like almost parallel movement to
Like a
Lethal Weapon
plateau?
3, and then Lethal Weapon 4 it falls.
So you're just picturing a plateau.
Or
I'm gonna assume it's like it jumps up with Lethal Weapon 2 and that levels out in 3, and then 4 did pretty alright, I think.
So you think plateau all the way through?
Yeah.
It is also possible that it's actually, like, another scenario I could see is jump to 2, fall in 3, and that's why they add Jet Li, Chris Rock, and the girl that I already forgot her name. And
Rene Rousseau was added in 3.
oh, her name's only on like the card for the 4th one. But I wonder if that's why they added Jet Li and Chris Rock, is because 3 actually underperformed.
It was also made like a significant time after 3 was made.
I could see that because Jet Li wasn't really a thing until later 90s, early 2000s. But we'll find out, and we'll talk about that more as we dig deeper into the Lethal Weapon series.
This is our deep delve.
Was there anything else Bug-Get-wise you wanted to talk about?
Nope.
Sweet.
Nope.
Sweet. What was your favorite scene?
My favorite scene from this one is probably when they're at the South African building and Leo Getz comes in. He's like, oh, my friend wants to immigrate to Africa, or South Africa, but I want you to talk him out of it. That whole scene was fucking hilarious.
That was a funny scene.
But you're blick.
You blick. I finally understand the reference now.
Yeah.
That's a good scene. That's a good pick, Tyson. I'm proud of you. Nice. Good job. Good job. I'm really close to your chair. What was your favorite scene?
That's the one I was going to pick.
Sorry.
Hold on. You have an eye rash. You want to make a wish? I don't know the whole thing. Bro Beans, what is your deal, man?
Her wish was to annoy you slightly.
Success granted.
Oh, I broke your arm.
Yeah, that hurt a lot. What was your favorite scene?
You could choose the same scene. I don't know
Yeah.
where this rule came.
I
where we
don't
have to
think it's
pick
a rule.
different Scenes.
I don't think it's a rule. I like to try to highlight another scene,
Yeah.
but I also acknowledge that.
So that would probably be my favorite scene. Another one I would possibly highlight is more of just Riggs and Murtaugh hanging out at the house, just being all domestic and shit. The commercial, you know.
She
The
makes me.
second.
She makes me want to go out and buy rubbers. That's all I'm saying. Well, I mean, my favorite scene is right when they meet Leo. Because Joe Pesci was the main reason that I was so on board with watching Lethal Weapon series. Because I love Joe Pesci. He's like one of my favorite actors. He's awesome. Funny how? Funny haha? Do I amuse you? Oh, thanks. But yeah, that was like my favorite scene because I was like, ah, it's the guy, it's Joe Pesci, holy shit. But I also really liked when Riggs pulled the fucking Stillhouse down with his Ford F-250 or what the fuck ever. His truck. And then I thought that was pretty neat. That was perfect Foley for that scene, by the way, in case anyone wants to hire me as a Foley guy. That's exactly what that scene sounded like.
It was spot on.
It's terrible. Oh, got him. Carly, would you score this movie? Would you recommend it?
I would probably go 7.5 for this one.
Really? You go up?
Yep.
Why do you go up?
I just found it... I wouldn't say less cheese, because it's definitely just as ridiculous, but I don't know. Maybe a little bit more well-rounded.
Huh. Interesting.
And I would recommend it. Go watch this one, and then the first one, and tell me what that experience is like.
And if you can hear the ducks outside, comment down below. Tyson, what would you score this movie, and would you recommend it?
I would put this one at a 7 out of 10. Because it was still a great movie. Like, I still enjoy the hell out of it. But it wasn't quite as serious as Lethal Weapon 1. I think that's what I like most about Lethal Weapon 1 is how it was more serious and it kind of cut the seriousness with its goofiness.
Yeah.
Slightly. But this one was just like mostly goofy.
Yeah.
With some serious parts. But it's still a great movie.
Yeah.
And I would recommend it.
I actually completely agree with your assessment. I think that there's less 80s cheese per se in the movie, but it's overall more goofy. You get the first unexplained explosion of the series with that cop car crashing into a light pole. That's just not how that works.
Yeah.
It is overall, I think it's not as good. I do miss a little bit of the solid storytelling, solid acting.
A lot of the unhinged craziness.
Yeah.
Of the Riggs.
Yeah. So I do think that it is overall a step back in the series. I'd give it a 6.5, so down 1 point. But I would still absolutely recommend the movie. It's super entertaining. It's just, I think it's less well-rounded. I think it's more goof off, like how Fast and Furious went from stealing TV, DVD, VCR combos to saving the world. That's how Lethal Weapon feels for me.
I can see that, but I also really enjoyed how much they dug at Riggs and how much they just gave him some happiness and then
Drowned it in the river.
Everything from him.
That was fucked up. I also liked, and I wasn't around in the 80s, so I don't know, I liked how unabashedly the movie was just yeah, no, apartheid is wrong. Back to back, 87 and 89. They're just no, taking a stand. And in 87, it was a thin veiled critique. In 89, it was hey, buddy.
It was pretty much half of the plot of the movie.
Yeah, it was hey, fuck you, bud. But I did really appreciate that as well. I thought that was cool. Just because I don't really know how people were in '89 about like speaking up about things that are just awful. Like universally, like there's no, oh, it's like no, it's just bad.
Yeah.
Let's just not.
Yeah, let's just not do that. Fun facts. They're facts and they're fun. The scene in which the stilt house was pulled down cost $500,000 to film.
Damn.
So there's at least 0.5% of that budget.
The 28.
That's not how that works.
28 million.
Yeah, but yeah, $500,000 to destroy the stilt house. I thought that was pretty neat. Even with its negative depiction of how South Africa handled its policies, South Africa government approved the movie in its full cut, and it actually was quite successful over there. So even they knew that what they were doing was wrong.
Like, we don't care. Look at how cool we are.
But you're black.
But you're blick. When Leo was cleaning Riggs's trailer out by the ocean, you can hear a song called I'm Not Scared by Eighth Wonder, who was fronted by Patty Kensett.
Patsy.
Okay. God damn it. Patsy Kensett, which is the same Patsy Kensett as the lady that doinked Riggs.
Okay.
Rika Vandenhouse.
Yeah.
Alright.
Which is Dutch.
If I'm ever in a movie, I hope that I also have music so I can be like, hey, can you play my song? Like,
Just put it. Yeah.
oh, you need a song for the scene?
Oh, hey,
just so
do you want to hear my
happens.
demo? Can I play my demo? Hey, check out this track on my demo.
You're like throwing
Check out my
tapes at him.
mixtape. It's fire. my mixtape is fire, you all.
Hey, go to my SoundCloud. Hey, yo, just check out my SoundCloud. Just check out my SoundCloud. Patsy also stated that her sex scene with Mel Gibson was incredibly awkward for her to shoot because they were both married and both Catholic. Which is fine that you feel that way, but then you're not a very good actor because you should be able to have a sex scene and separate it from real life because you're not actually fucking.
Yep, it's true.
There's no actual penetration.
Yeah, Mel Gibson is married, but Riggs is not.
Yeah.
You might be married, but your character is not.
Yeah. Separate yourself from the acting. It's not the same thing. It's not real. Like,
those aren't your nipples. They're your character's nipples.
well,
It's true.
I don't know about that.
Oh, she's completely correct.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, okay.
That's not Mel Gibson's dick in your vagina. That's Martin Riggs' dick in Rika Vandenhouse's vagina.
Yeah.
It's true.
So it's not even actually in there. So it doesn't even matter.
It's implied.
Yeah, it's implied. Like softcore pornography.
So just, get better at your job.
The diet soda pornography.
For real. What's the point even? What even is the point?
Oh, wow. If I wanted to see boobs, I'd go to Boob Town.
Just Google boobs.
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 BWBS.
Boot down.
That's all I've got. I'm done. Thanks for watching. Go ahead and leave in the comments below what you thought of Lethal Weapon 2. Do you think it's better or worse than Lethal Weapon? We've got 2 or 3 more videos left on this. We're going to do Lethal Weapon 3 and 4 in the next week or two.
Some sort of synopsis
At the end of, either at the end of Lethal Weapon 4's video or its own video. We don't really know. You'll know when we post it. If you want a chance to win the shout out, make sure to follow us on all our social medias at Jecll Studios on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Carly posts a semi-obscure photo from the movie on Instagram and Facebook.
Just comment what movie we're watching.
What movie we're watching. Mm-hmm. She should do it on Twitter too, but she doesn't. So, I mean, what am I supposed to do? You know, my hands are tied.
Well, Twitter blows. So.
Well, when I'm
It's also the best one for like this sort of like stuff.
But when I share from Instagram to Facebook, it'll share the picture and the caption. When I share from Instagram to Twitter, it will share a link to Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
But what if you just take the picture and post it on Instagram, share it to Facebook, and then post it to Twitter?
That's just not as convenient.
Yeah, but...
if I just post it on Instagram and share it to Facebook, that's so much of my job I don't have to
But then
do.
you can use, like, hashtags and get more engagements.
She's basically like, I don't wanna.
She's basically just like, I don't care if people see it. Anyway.
Nobody sees my Twitter, just like nobody watches these videos.
But you have a tweet with, like, 300 likes.
That's true. I blew up.
All it takes is one. That's all I'm saying. You do you, because if it meant that much to me, I could put it on my Twitter. Just saying.
I
don't like your reasoning. It sounds shitty.
Post that
I think that was my reply to Ben that blew up.
It was. But yeah, follow, comment the picture, you get the shout out. We're here on YouTube. We're also on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. If you don't like to watch the videos, if you don't think I'm pretty, you can listen to my equally unpretty voice on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
And stuff.
That's all I've got. You guys got anything else?
I want to be the mayor of Booptown. How do I run?
Make sure to get a sports bra.
I'll be the sheriff of Boobtown. This is my town. I'll protect all the boobas.
Little titty spurs.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. And as always, it's just been revoked.
Diplomatic immunity.
And
I think they also have like a dick parade, like a festival of penis. Or is that Japan? Am I getting my Asian countries mixed
Do you mean U.S. Congress?